Hi, I'm Becky. I have been working on the quilt that's behind me for a few weeks. And last night I created lettering for the bottom of the quilt behind me and put it on. Is it perfect? No, I still have to fix that question mark. I don't know what I was thinking when I let it get completely cut off by the seam work. And this morning I woke up and I started thinking about quilting it. So I was kind of thinking about how to do it and how I was going to swirl this and maybe do this. And I remembered that on my table right now, and it has been there for a while, is my black and white "Which fork do I use" quilt. I've been calling it the black and white geometric quilt because that's more descriptive, but what it actually is called is "Which fork do I use," which I think is funny because it does look like forks to me. And I realized I was about to let another quilt jump the line, and I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and hand quilt my "Which fork do I use" quilt. Why have I been procrastinating it? I think because I took so much care to try to make it perfect, and I'm worried that I'm going to ruin it. I'm just stitching in the ditch. I'm not going to put a bunch of swirlies on there, and I'm not using the machine. I'm hand quilting it, so I'm not sure. I'm gonna push on through and do this. I got two choices of fabric for this. I opened it in the package, and this bottom part fell off. That's kind of annoying. And then I also have some Gutermann's, and this is a variegated. I think it's black, white, and gray. And then this one is, I thought it was black, but it's actually just a dark gray. And I'm going to remind myself that I can't ruin this. It's not going to be ruined. It's beautiful, and it's a quilt. And no matter what, I can have it on my walls. I can have it over my legs. It's fine. That's what I have to remind myself. It's going to be fine. Okay, now that I've made the decision, I am kind of excited to get over there and get started on it. So let's do it. Okay, so this one, if I lay it out like this, they're both considered quilting weight thread, which I always take to mean something that you wouldn't necessarily put on the machine. But the Gutermann's is definitely thinner. In fact, much thinner. That kind of makes the decision for me because I do not want to deal with thin thread for hand stitching. So this is what we're going with. Can you see these stitches in here? It makes it look like the fabric has just pulled apart and we're just seeing what we shouldn't be seeing, which is the seam stitches. I am going to speed this up, but I have this one thing to say, and that is that I'm not stitching in the ditch. I said I was going to stitch in the ditch, but I'm actually stitching a 1/16 of an inch to the side of the ditch, and it actually looks better because it doesn't look like a mistake. So here is my first row of stitching, of quilting, I should say. I did some quilting yesterday and last night, and I'm doing some quilting this morning, and then I have a luncheon today, and I'm going to come back and quilt. Here, if you can see, is where I have marked where to put the extra quilting stitches in. So I have finished the quilting on my black and white quilt. I wasn't really liking the stitching in the ditch initially, but I kind of moved it just a little bit off center, so it was just a little bit out of the ditch, and I really liked that look. And in my enthusiasm, I registered it for the Washington State Fair. So in a couple of weeks, I will be taking it down and delivering it to the fair, just trying to be brave and be open to some comments, some feedback. Because I'm doing that, I decided to make the binding a little bit more special than I had been thinking. So where the edge of the quilt top is white, I'm going to have white binding, and where the edge of the quilt top is black, I'm going to have black binding. I really do want to finish this quilt tonight, so I'm going to, let's see, it's 5 o'clock, so I've got several hours. It's a Friday. I'm going to go ahead and get this wrapped up before I go to bed. Here is the "Which fork do I use" quilt. We can go up and look at it a little bit more. here is a binding where it is white and then the binding is black and then the binding is white again to match the quilt top itself. I know that my stitching is not perfect, but it is all done, and I really kind of like it. I think it almost looks like perforations. I think that this is not the kind of quilt that is revered at the fair, at the state fair, which is fine. I am going to do it anyway. I'm going to take it down there anyway, and I'm not ashamed of it. But I also know it's not going to win any awards. It's just going to be very fun. Thanks for being here, and see you next time.